Have you ever needed to make a hearth, maybe a countertop? Maybe you wanted to renew a desk, a shower, a tabletop, or something else. In this video, we're gonna show you how we did a hearth in a day. This was super easy to do. We're gonna do an exotic pour that matches the entire house. I'm gonna teach you step by step how to do a slate horizontal rock face. I love the low sheen that we did at the end. Stay tuned, enjoy the video. You got this!
Hey everybody, the engines are running hot and it's full steam ahead to that goal of 1 million subscribers. You can help us out by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell so you get notified every time we have a new video. You could probably say it with me by now.
Have you guys seen our countertop videos? This is a very similar process. All we're gonna do is double up that MDF. I'm not gonna do a drop edge like I do in some of my videos. I need meat, I need strength. We also left that edge a little bit staggered because I did this horizontal rock face. How do you do a horizontal slate rock face? You use your palm and a gloved hand and a little bit of that Bondo. You simply follow that edge. You're gonna get that nice and smeared out horizontally, and then as that Bondo sets up, pro tip, come back and just wipe that very lightly. The more that you wipe it, the later in the setup time, the more texture you're gonna create. Now remember, come back and sand that nice and smooth to the touch so you get that real organic, smooth feel so nothing chips out or gets sharp. That's a pro tip, and that's how you go from weekend warrior to pro.
Okay, we've doubled up the MDF so we have a nice thick substrate. We added Bondo to the edge to create that slate look. Now it's time for the white epoxy undercoat. This is gonna seal that MDF and also give us a color so that we get a fantastic look. I got Paul Ricaldi from Paul's Toolbox and RK3 Designs Kenny and my good buddy Brandon all helping on this project. This was a passion project for a house for my mom and dad so they could stay warm and cozy with their new hearth. After the undercoat, we added a little bit of spray paint as the undercoat was wet. This also embedded that color. We were just playing with the technique and it worked out really well. I loved doing that because it embedded a little color in those cracks and crevices of the Bondo. I love working on projects with my buddies, and I really want to thank Paul and Kenny and Brandon for helping me out on this project.
When we did the recipe on this hearth, it was simple. We already had the recipe because we did the countertops, the shower, the end tables, and many different elements in the same recipe.
So we got diamond dust, white, silver, black dye, white dye, antique brass, black and white. That's what we did on the whole house.
We did all of this in an exotic pour. That means we mixed the clear epoxy, we transfer that into their own receptacles, we added the colorants, the dyes, the spray paint, the metallic powders, and then we put them all back into the same bucket and we made that exotic look. You see, high-end stone is more expensive the more exotic it is. That looks really cool when it's different minerals that are forced together. And that's what we mimicked in this pour. What do you think?
I love this recipe. I'm just curious at what colors you would have added to it if it was going in your own home. I love that each of the pieces that we created got a mind of their own. They really moved and melded according to gravity and how we poured those colors back in the bucket. It was like opening a Christmas present every time we did a new piece. After we pour the top, we remove the tape so that it will flow over the edge. And because I did that slate horizontal edge, I'll use horizontal hand strokes to promote that look. Have you seen our rock video where we actually made rocks to make this log home look legit? We molded actual river rocks so that we saved the riverbed and we made our own rocks. We also saved thousands by making our own cultured stone. It came out fantastic. We made a mold and we mimicked this mold hundreds of times to make enough rock for this entire foundation. It came out beautiful. It started out as cinder block, and with a little elbow grease and time, we made this thing look like an amazing log home. We also did the exact same thing behind the hearth, where we made our own rocks travel up that wall and look like the chimney was there for 100 years. Stone Coat doesn't just teach countertops, we teach remodeling on a dime. You cannot make this look for the amount of money that we did without the knowledge of how to mimic Mother Nature and make your hearth look like an actual showpiece. In the description, we'll link that video on how to make your own river rocks from scratch. Go check it out. All right, it's time for the next step where we're gonna do the ultimate top coat and dress up these edges. Okay, what I'm doing right now is just masking off the top because I'm gonna add a little bit of spray paint horizontally to these edges because some of the drips came down vertically and I wanted to promote this horizontal look. I wanted it to look like slate, and I want to know, does that look real to you guys? Do you like the way that we did that by spraying a little bit of spray paint in our hand and wiping it on before we apply that ultimate top coat? I'm also going through here and just sanding some of those high points so you see that roughness comes through, that organic look. Okay, I'm using my 2-roller technique to apply the ultimate top coat. First, I'm going to remove any lint. Then I'm going to add the top coat by a 2-to-1 ratio. First I'll apply it wet, then I'll come back with a dry roller and back roll.
Did you know Stone Coat Epoxy is tough stuff? It's heat resistant, scratch resistant, UV resistant. You can do many different sheen levels from high shine to that low sheen. I love that look and it looks just like natural stone.
All you need is 1 coat of that ultimate top coat to give you that natural looking finish, that extra added scratch resistance, and then it was time to take it to the job site. We set it in place right up to that river rock that we created, and this wood stove was no match for the durability of our hearth. We love how it looked, and it absolutely matched everything that we created in this house. What do you guys think? How much do you love that hearth? Give us a thumbs up.
These rocks ended up making the entire veneer on that house. It saved a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of rocks. Go ahead and check out that video to see how it was done step by step.
Stone Coat Countertops, you got this.
Stone Coat Countertops, you got this.